Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie, and we're in Joshua Tree National Park.
Welcome to Hidden Valley Campground in Joshua Tree National Park. We have been camped out here for several days, enjoying the sights, the sounds. It is a big rock climbing area, so you may hear some people yelling about being on or off belay. You may hear birds, you may hear cars driving past. That's the nature of doing things outdoors. But we can't deny how beautiful this location is. We are so happy to be here. We hope it looks as good as we think it looks. It's kind of hard to see the camera in all this sunshine. If it's your first time joining us here on 5 Sip Friday, we have a whiskey that was gifted to us by a Patreon. We nose the glass, taste the whiskey. After 5 sips, we say whether or not we like it. We try to guess what it is, and at the end it is revealed. And this one was gifted to us by the one and only RussD.
Hey, RussD!
Show off that sample he gave us. Show the people just how amazing this looks.
I was gonna say, RussD, you outdid yourself. So not only do we have the RussD stamp of approval, but we also have the Bourbon Van stamp of approval. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty impressive stuff. The wax coating and the seal and all that stuff. Well, let's get right to it. The color on this is beautiful. I can see it coating the glass, and I am excited to go in and check it out on the nose. Here we go.
I have a bit of a cold today, so we'll see if this works in my favor for 5 Sip.
I imagine it's not going to help on the nose.
It's not going to help on the nose.
Oh,
but it smells great.
It does smell great, really? You can smell it too, huh?
It's light, vanilla, brown sugar.
Brown sugar, a lot of brown sugar, I think.
A fruit note.
Yeah, the aroma is fantastic. I can't wait to get into it. What do you say?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that was a powerful sip.
There's a little proof there, I think.
Woo-hoo!
That's delicious. That do anything for your sinuses?
Yeah, it kind of did. It's got all these like spices that are just kind of like effervescing up into my nose.
It is a little bit spicy. There's a little bit of a caramel hint there, not a ton, but the brown sugar, really nice. The vanilla is more of a vanilla extract here. There's some beautiful oak. I would say that this was aged in a heavily charred barrel, not just a lightly toasted barrel. So off the bat, this is my kind of whiskey. I think this is great.
Yeah, it really sticks around too. Like that flavor is still like lodged in. The finish is pretty nice on this just from one sip.
I love that vanilla note that's hanging around here. This is great. And the spice is there. It's a little bit cinnamon. It's a little bit allspice, honestly.
Yeah. I do think there's a little proof here.
I think you're right.
Sip 2?
Yeah. Wow.
There's a little leather in here, a little tobacco note.
Yeah.
Faint though, because it drinks pretty chill, it's not fruit forward, but there's definitely like some fruit juice in there.
There's almost like a pear vibe I'm getting on this one.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you like this one so far?
I do. There's some really interesting flavors in here, and that like spiciness of this has really kind of caught me off guard from what I thought this was going to taste like.
Yeah, it's not overly sweet at all. The balance because of that spice is beautiful. I'm ready for sip 3. What do you say?
Yeah.
There's a little mint here, but I'm still not thinking rye.
I was just going to say peppermint.
Yeah. It's nice. That's a nice mint.
This is a confusing one because just that effervescence of spice that I got made me think this was a rye.
Yeah.
But I'm with you that I'm not sure it actually is. It could just be like a really spicy whiskey.
It was sip 3 there that gave me that mint impression that made me start thinking maybe rye, but I still think flavor-wise, I'm getting bourbon on this, especially because of that charred toasted barrel that's sticking around, that flavor of the oak. That's making me think bourbon, but I've been wrong before.
It is a staccato spiciness. Like it really hits you. Like it's a sharp edge spiciness to this.
Man, I like this a ton. Sip, what are we on, 4?
4.
Let's do it.
It tastes familiar to me.
It does taste a little familiar.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that it's a major distiller. Because I feel like I've tasted this before, or tasted something similar to this. I don't know if I've tasted this one.
It's definitely has a vibe of a particular distillery for me, and I'll share that at the end. But I think it's dynamite. I'm really enjoying it. Proof-wise, I don't know about you, but I'm going over 110 on this.
Oh yeah.
I would say maybe even closer to 120.
Yeah. Shouldn't give me those notes because then I'm gonna. But I already do.
You're not. You're gonna do your own thing.
Sip 5?
Yeah, I was already going in. I can't wait. That's dynamite whiskey. That's delicious.
It is so spicy.
Yeah.
And so brown sugary. And so charred.
Yeah. It's tricky because I wanted to say with all that flavor in there, that it made me think that it was really, really well aged. And now I'm kind of reining that in, thinking because of that heavy spice, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Man, I really like this.
I think that's a pretty good note because you said well aged. Not that you're saying it's well aged, but as you were saying that, I was like, I think this could be well aged.
Yeah. Well, we've had 5 sips. It's time for us to tell you what we think of it and what we think it is. And what we think of it, I think everybody can see. This is delicious whiskey. We're big fans of whatever this is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is something that I would drink normally, but I really love experiencing it. I think the flavors are really good. I like that like spicy oak flavor that you get here, that little bit of char, a little bit of spice, the vanilla
extract hanging around, absolutely, yeah. And for me, this is a Friday night pour at least, and maybe other times as well. To me, whatever this is, I would call it a buy. I'm enjoying this. I would definitely buy whatever this is. All right, are you ready to tell the people what you think this is?
I am ready.
All right. Lay it on us.
All right, so I think it's a major distillery. I don't know which one it would be. It tastes eerily familiar to me.
Yeah.
Everything in me wants to say that this is a rye from that spiciness, but I think I'm gonna go with that. It's the opposite of what I think and go bourbon on this one, and I'm going 122.
Okay, 122 proof. I am all over the map on this one because I really think that with the spice that's there, this could be a wild turkey product. And the sweetness and the way that it's just so satisfying at what I think is a high proof. There's a big part of me that wants to go Wild Turkey's rare breed. It's a blend generally of a little bit younger stuff and older stuff.
We do like drinking it outside.
We love drinking it outside. We love that whiskey, and that's 116-ish proof, I believe. That's right in the wheelhouse of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But there's a whiskey that we tasted on 5 Sip Friday last year that Jeff Perkins gave us. It was a Lost Lantern bottle from Boulder Spirits. Has a ton in common with the flavors I'm getting on this.
Okay.
So I don't know. I do think that the proof is under 120 here. So I'm going to go with that, though. I'm going to go Boulder Spirits.
Oh, you're just flipping the switch. You're not even going to go rare breed.
I'm going to go Boulder Spirits out of Colorado, and I'm going to say it's around 115 proof.
Love it.
I don't, you know, it's so tricky. We're kind of out of practice with this.
Yeah.
But I'm having a great time. I love 5 Sip Friday.
I feel like your 115 is closer than my 122. Those first initial sips were just so spicy.
They were spicy, and yeah, it could have just been the spice fooling us here. That proof might not be that high after all, but let's find out. Another hearty thank you to our friend RussD for sending us these samples, especially for this one right here that we're enjoying in one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Yes, it really is spectacular. And there's a picture, and I love that.
Oh, we love pictures.
This is Cedar Ridge Single Barrel. It's a Fred Minnick pick. It's an Iowa straight bourbon.
That's in Iowa.
It is 118.3 proof. We were both close. We skirted the
right in the middle.
Yeah. The mash bill is 74% corn, 14% malted rye, 12% two-row malted barley. The price is $55, and they could not find an age statement.
Well, I think that we did pretty well today. We guessed bourbon.
Yeah.
Our proof was within a couple of points on either side of that.
You get 5, so I feel like we were right in there.
Yeah, we were right where we need to be, and no age statement means close enough. I will say this, though. I'm nosing at the glass. It's that slurry of salty, buttery brown sugar you get in your oatmeal when you make it the way that I do, which is to say, not in a healthy way. This is very, very tasty whiskey, so I shouldn't be surprised. I've heard good things. This is our first taste of Cedar Ridge.
I was going to say something new for us today.
Absolutely delicious whiskey, and nice pick, Fred. Not too shabby right there. And thanks again to RussD, and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. They're pretty good with a stuffy nose.
Not too shabby.